Hey guys, Cody with Princess Craft RV. Come along with me today as we go through this Forest River RPOD 192. Starting right up front, let's go over how to get this thing hooked up to your tow vehicle. It is going to ride on a 2-inch ball. So once you get your tow vehicle backed under it, you're going to use your electric tongue jack to lower it down onto the ball. And then all you've got to do is latch this over and make sure it latches all the way down. You'll see under here the release should be latched in. You should not be able to just pull up on it. To release it, you do have to press this little tab under here. That's going to release it and allow it to open up. Now, a couple other things that have to be hooked up to your tow vehicle are going to be your safety chains. Now, these do need to cross, create kind of a basket underneath the hitch, and they are going to clip onto the receiver hitch of the tow vehicle. Your safety breakaway cable is another item that does need to be hooked directly up to the receiver hitch on its own path. Do not route it through the chains, and then it needs to be on its own clip and then just clipped onto the receiver hitch. There are replacement cables for these that are kind of a curly Q to keep this thing up off the ground so you don't accidentally snag it, which are a good, easy replacement. The other thing that's going to hook up to your tow vehicle is going to be your 7-way cord here. This is going to plug into the 7-way on the tow vehicle and run all of your brake lights, turn signals, running lights, and electric brakes if your tow vehicle is equipped with a brake controller. Now, when this cord's not plugged into your tow vehicle, it does store right here on the side of the trailer in this little holster. If you put it in there, it's going to help keep water and dirt and everything from getting into that connector and creating problems. All right, let's cover your power tongue jack. Very easy operation. It's got an up and down button right here on the front. You also have a service light for nighttime use. And then right here on top, there's a rubber plug that you can open up. And using the supplied crank handle, if this does fail electrically, this is just gonna go right down inside and fit onto the stud that's in there and allow you to crank your tongue jack up and down manually if you need to. All right, just behind your powered tongue jack is going to be your 20-pound propane cylinder. A couple ways to get to this thing. First is going to just be the top flap that opens up here for just regular use. You're going to loosen up this little thumb wheel on top. Just loosen that up, tip it back, and that's going to allow you to open up this door. And inside you will find the service valve for your propane cylinder. Now, to turn the cylinder on and off, it's very easy. All the way to the left will be off, and all the way to the right will be off, and all the way to the left will be open. Now, when you close this lid back down, make sure you snug up this little thumb nut on here or this lid will blow off. Now, the other way to gain access to the cylinder is to remove this cover completely, which you'll have to do to remove it from the trailer to either have it exchanged or refilled. So to get this off, there are a couple of devices that hold it in place. There is a bungee strap across the bottom that you just have to undo. And then there's going to be this wing nut on the back. So you got to remove the wing nut completely. When you take it off, set it somewhere where you're not going to lose it or knock it off into the dirt or something like that where you can't find it. And then having the cover open makes this a little easier so you can guide this off of the stud and then pull it kind of up and off, and that's going to give you access to your cylinder. Now, if you need to remove this from the trailer to take it to get it exchanged or refilled, make sure your service valve is closed. Then you can go ahead and remove your service hose, and then you're going to loosen up this pinch bolt here on the side for the bracket, which then will allow you to lift the cylinder up and out of the bracket. Now, anytime you're transporting a propane cylinder, make sure that it is in the upright position for safety reasons. Putting it back on the trailer is going to be just the opposite. We're going to take it and set it back into the bracket here. Go ahead and reconnect your service hose, and then you can tighten up this clamp. Now, when you tighten up this clamp, it does not need to be cranked down so tight that you can't get it off. It does not require any tools. Just snug to hold it there, and then you can go ahead and turn your service valve back on if you need to use it. If not, you can leave it off, and then put your cover back on. Again, if you have the top lid open, that's going to make this easier because you do have to line this stud up for the wing nut on the back, and then go ahead and put your wing nut on. Again, this doesn't need to be over tight, just snug. Don't forget to tighten your thumb nut here for the lid again, and then go ahead and reattach your bungee cord. All right, just behind the propane is going to be your 12-volt battery for the trailer. Inside you'll find a wet lead acid interstate battery, RV Marine, and it is not maintenance free, which means you do need to pop the lids off and check the water level periodically on the batteries or battery and make sure it's good to go. If you do need to make any disconnects at the cables, I recommend taking a picture with your phone before you do that so you don't get any cables crossed. Battery disconnect switch here on the side, just off to the left of the battery here. You're going to find your battery disconnect switch, very easy to use, on and off. If it's going to be in storage or put away for a period of time, just turn that to the off position. That will disconnect your battery from the trailer. Now this trailer is equipped with 4-corner stabilizer jacks. These jacks are just for stabilizing. They are not for lifting or leveling. So once you get the trailer level side to side, front to back, you're going to use the supplied crank handle, and you are just going to crank these down to the ground and apply a little bit of pressure, and that's all you need to do with that. They do make drill attachments for these to make that process a little quicker. Have a large pass-through storage compartment here that is secured with a thumb lock and a key lock, and then it's just a magnetic catch here to hold the door open for you. Water connections, the top one here is going to be our freshwater tank fill. To fill this up, you're just going to take the cap off, put your hose in there, and turn the water on until it fills up. And depending on how much you want to carry, if you want to completely fill the tank, you can just leave the hose in there until the water backwashes out at you. Tells you the tank is completely full. If you don't want to fill it up completely, you can check the monitor panel on the inside of the trailer for tank levels, and then shut off the water whenever you get to your desired amount. Connection below that's going to be our city water connection. It's going to be where you, if you're staying in a campground and you can hook up with a water hose, just pop the cap off. You're going to hook up with a freshwater drinking safe hose here with a water pressure regulator, and all your pressure will be provided from the city water. Now just underneath here, we were talking about filling up that freshwater tank. The drain for the freshwater tank is going to be this right here. You just take that cap off and drain it out. Just behind our water connections, you will find all of your identification tags, VIN number, tire size, tire pressure, all that good information from Forest River. It is a good idea to know that information and follow it whenever you do tire pressures, whenever you check them, and whenever they need replacement, you go back with the same size. All right, exterior shower here does have hot and cold mixing knobs here, so you can mix it up however you'd like it. The shower head can holster right here in the door. So you don't have to hang on to it. It's really cool if you need to wash your feet off or anything like that, or your hands. It does come with the flow control just like showers inside, so you can turn it on and off as you need it basically. And not a whole lot to it. When you store this up, the hose just have to wrap around the knobs there and fit inside, and then this is locked with a key. Now one thing to remember is when you're done using your exterior shower, make sure you shut the knobs off. Make sure you turn all the water off to them. They can cause some weird mixing issues. And then when you winterize, don't forget to flow your antifreeze solution through this as well. Being an exterior water access, they are a high freeze area, so don't forget to do that. Vent hood vent up here. You do have to pop this open. There's two little kind of like slots right here. I find it easy, just stick your thumbs in there and pull out, and that just pops right open. If you're going to be using the vent hood while you're cooking, you're going to want to make sure this is open for that to operate correctly. To close it, just push it in. You should hear it snap shut. All right, our Dometic refrigerator vent here. To open this up, you're just going to turn these two little latches up here at the top, and then put your fingers in at the top right by those and pull out, and it just is going to come off. A couple things to see on the inside here are going to be your 110 power cord. This is going to be your PC board basically right here. There can be some fuses in there, so if you're working remotely with somebody on some diagnostics, they may ask you about that. It's a good idea to check for insect nests build up in here, anywhere in this area. And the last thing I like to show is going to be this little manual knob right here for shutting the gas flow off if for some reason that does need to be turned off. When you put this back on, get the bottom slot set first. Make sure you get this snapped on and make sure you turn these little latches that they are back into the lock position. These will blow off if you don't get that done. Wheels and tires, again, check your tire pressure regularly, set it to the manufacturer recommendation per the sticker on the side of the trailer. Lug nut torque does need to be checked per Forest River to 100 foot-pounds for your torque specification. And then they recommend checking it at 50 miles, 100 miles, and 200 miles. So that's when it's new, and then also after any time the wheel has been removed for service. So if you take it in for a wheel bearing pack, get tires put on it, anything like that, those lug nuts are going to need to be rechecked by you as this thing goes down the road when you hit those mile intervals. Furnace exhaust right here on the side, Suburban furnace exhaust. It's going to get hot anytime you're using the furnace in the winter time, so make sure you don't block it up, cover it, or anything like that. Watch out for little fingers. You don't get burned, anything like that. This is a high access point for dirt daubers or flying insects to get into and build nests. Putting insect screens over there could save you some money in the long run. Just below that, we're going to find your 30 amp power cord. Let me show you how this thing is going to hook up. So your cord's going to have 3 slots on it. The trailer side is going to have 3 prongs. You're going to take the 2 that are L-shaped and you're going to line them up. Just push this on, give it a little twist to the right. That's going to be the initial lock on. And then you're going to want to get this lock ring secured, and you want to get it snugged. We want to make sure we have a good snug connection to the side of the trailer so this thing doesn't move around and cause any overheating or arcing. Cable satellite port right behind that's going to be hooking up park cable or exterior satellite. It's just a coax connection. I will show you where the rest of the connections are on the inside of the trailer, which is going to bring us to our dump station. We've got 2 valves down here that we will have to play with. First one's going to be the smaller of the 2 valves with a gray handle. This is going to be for our gray water, which is sink and shower water. The bigger one back here is going to be black handle and a larger valve. This is going to be for our toilet water or our black water. So this is black water, this is gray water. You can leave the gray water open while you are camping and everything's just going to run out. Black water valve must stay closed until the tank is ready to be dumped. Otherwise you can get what is called a pyramid plug, where all the solids kind of build up in the tank and don't wash out. So leave that one closed until it is ready to be dumped. Pretty simple stuff, a lot of information out there on that as well. So just behind that, we're going to find your low point drains. It's going to be these 2 turn knobs right here. We're going to have the hot one's going to be red, cold's going to be white. So you, when you're going to be putting this away for storage or winterization, you're going to want to drain those 2 lines off to help get all the water out. All right, moving on to the back side of the trailer here. We do have a roof access ladder on the newer RPODs. You are going to want to go up on the roof, do a roof inspection periodically, check your sealants, make sure everything looks good, make sure the roof membrane is in good shape, that you don't have any issues or any areas where water can get in. Same for the trim and the windows and everything on the side of the trailer. You want to inspect those regularly, make sure you don't have any water intrusion that could lead to a problem down the road. This trailer is equipped with a 4-inch square bumper. These little caps come out on the end, and this is an excellent place to store your sewer hose. The only caution I throw to that, this is a metal square bumper. You can have sharp edges in there that could cause damage to your sewer hose. So be careful when you are putting it away for storage or pulling it out for use, that it doesn't get snagged on anything and cause a problem. Spare tire back here. To get this off, it's just removing these 2 lug nuts, and then this guy can be removed from the trailer if you do have a flat. Now, if you need to jack your trailer up, you are going to want to make sure your jack is on the frame of the trailer. That way you don't cause any damage to the axle. And then it's from there, it's just like changing a flat on a car. We do have your gas electric 6-gallon water heater back here on the back as well. This is just going to be the exterior access, but a couple things you do need to know about in here. First and foremost is going to be your drain plug right there in the middle, which is also an anode rod. The anode rod does have to be replaced periodically. They last varying times, but when you're going to be putting the trailer away for probably more than a week or two, you're going to want to pull that plug out. It's a good time to inspect the anode rod and drain it out and then flush it out. Make sure you get all the sediment and stuff like that out of the water heater. Never dry fire a water heater. Always make sure it has water in it before you turn it on the gas side or electric side. Best way to do that is to use the pop-off valve right here at the top. Just pull this little lever out and you should get some water that comes out. If water comes out, you are good to go and you can go ahead and get this thing lit on gas or electric. Now for the electric operation, there is a switch down here in the bottom left-hand corner that does have to be in the on position. Now just remember that when you turn that on, you have to turn it off too. Other than that, getting in here, inspect for nests, anything like that that could be causing operational issues. To open and close this thing, it's just going to be this little D-loop that is spring-loaded up here at the top. It's going to pass through the slot on the door, pull out on it a little bit and give it a twist and fold it over. Again, you can put insect screens on this as well to help keep dirt daubers out. Now this model is equipped with a black tank flush, so using a separate dedicated black-gray water hose that can be used for black or gray drain purposes. Do not use your freshwater hose that you use to supply fresh water to the trailer for this. Hook that dedicated hose up here. Keep your black valve open at the dump station. Turn the water on here. This is going to kind of spray a jet spray into the black tank and help wash everything out of the black tank. Helps keep it clean, helps keep everything kind of working properly there. Exterior 110 outlets here on the side. A couple of things to point out. We do have some exterior speakers out here. We've got a porch light, all controlled by the switches on the inside, and the radio awning is electric. We'll show you how to operate that from the inside. Steps are very easy to fold up and store. Bottom step goes on the top step. And then just grab the top step and just pick up and push in, and it's going to stow. To pull it back out for use, just grab the step again, pull it straight out, and then grab the bottom step and fold it down. Now this trailer is also equipped with the exterior kitchen here. There are a couple things that have to be set up on this whenever you pull it out for use. If you're going to be using the cooktop, you do have to hook up the supplied gas hose. So let me show you how to hook that up. At the front of the trailer, kind of right next to the batteries, you will find the quick connect port for this hose. Now you have to push back on this collar, and then we're going to take our gas hose and we're going to push it in, and then that collar is going to lock onto that hose where it can't be pulled out. Now this is a gas valve right here as well that does have to be open, so you just push that like that. That's going to allow the gas to flow through, but it's also going to lock this collar so you can't remove it. We're going to take the other end of this and it's going to hook up underneath here, right here at the back, and it's the same style hookup with a quick connect. Once it's on, make sure it's on there, then go ahead and open up your valve. Now you will have gas flowing to your exterior grill. Now to get this thing to light, you're just going to turn your knob to the light section on here, whichever one you want to light. Just turn it to light. Using your stick lighter or a match or something, you're going to light the burner you want to use. Do your cooking. When it's done, close it off. Now this does have the wind guards and everything on the side. They just fold up into the lid, and then this just closes down on top of everything like that. When you get ready to store this away, do not forget to disconnect your gas line, which is just the opposite of setting it up. Make sure you turn the gas valves off, pull down on that collar, and it's going to pop right off. Again, close the gas valve, push in on the collar, and pull the hose out. Other thing that comes with this is going to be your exterior spray port on this side, which is great for access to over here while you're cooking. Again, it's going to be the quick connect style, just like your gas hose. Push back on that collar, insert this in there until it locks on, and that's going to give you water at your hose here. Now when this stores, you're just going to push it straight back in, and there is going to be a travel lock once you get it all the way in. Don't forget to lock that in place. and that'll keep it from sliding out and beating up the inside of this door. And this one closes again with a thumb lock and a key lock. All right guys, that should cover the exterior of our 192. Let's go check out the inside. All right guys, so just coming inside our 192 to the left, we're gonna find a couple things. We're gonna find a few switches here. The first one's gonna say awning extend retract. This is for our electric awning that's on the exterior of the trailer. If you wanna extend it, you're just gonna push to the extend direction. Now, a couple things to remember before you run an awning in and out. Make sure everything is clear. Make sure it's not gonna hit your door or anything like that when you run it out, so you don't cause any damage to the awning or anything that you may run it into. You can go ahead and extend it all the way out. When you wanna retract it, you're just gonna push it to the retract position, hold it there till it's all the way up against the trailer, and you'll be ready for travel with it in that position. Now, awnings do need to be put away anytime it really starts to rain or the wind is blowing, so you don't cause any damage there as well. The next switch over says awning LED, on and off. That's going to be for the LED light strip that runs along the length of the awning. And that's going to bring us to our porch light, which is going to be our amber porch light outside underneath the awning. And then we've got interior LT, which is interior light, on and off, which is going to run all of the main cabin lights right here down the center of the trailer. And so you can turn everything on and off right here, or you can do the lights individually with the little push button on the middle of them. So you can kind of set that up however you want to do it. Now, this trailer is pre-wired for Go Power Solar. So this sticker right here is where they've decided for the solar controller to be installed. So if you decide you want to get solar put on later, you'll have your solar controller installed right there. All right, the other thing coming inside the door, which is going to be to the right down by our feet, is going to be our fire extinguisher. Really the only thing that we need to keep up with here is pushing that little green button down, make sure it pops back up. That's going to tell us that we still have pressure inside of that cylinder, and it should be good to go if we do need to extinguish a fire with it. Now, moving up into our couch bed area, we do have a few things over here. On the door side, we do have a GFCI outlet that does have a test reset button on it. So this thing can be tripped just like a GFCI in your home. And if the green light is on, that means that everything should be good to go. If it is off, it is either tripped or there is another issue. Next to that, you will find a USB charge port. Now, on the off door side of the couch here, you'll find another USB charge port and a GFCI controlled outlet. The GFCI is over here. This one's just controlled by it. So if this one doesn't work, chances are there's an issue there as well. Now, we do have storage down on the sides here, on both sides. And to turn our accent lighting on inside of our wardrobes, it's going to be the light switch on the off door side panel. Now, this has what's called a Murphy bed in it, so this is going to lay out into a different bed. So our couch does have to be laid flat for that to happen. So to do that, we're just going to pull up on the couch bottom. And as you can see, this thing really just kind of jackknifes on its own. It's called a jackknife couch. You can store things under here. It's a good place to put stuff. There's good, it's a lot of room. And you're just going to fold this thing on down until it lays flat. Now we can go ahead and lay our Murphy bed down. To do that, support the bottom. Just going to grab this latch right here on the side and pull it out, and then this thing's going to lay down just like that. And now you have access to your bed. There is some little storage spots up near where your head would be, and you do have a window there with a privacy shade as well. I'll show you how to work those shades throughout the trailer. They are all pretty much the same except for the one behind the kitchen sink. Now, to put this back up, it's very simple. Make sure you grab the bottom. We're just going to push this all the way up. And if you just push it up, it'll latch back in on its own, and then you can set your couch back up. Again, we're just going to pick up on the bottom. Once we kind of reach its maximum height, then you're going to want to kind of push down at an angle and allow that thing to pop around, and your couch back will sit right back up into position. So the shades in the trailer are tension style. So these strings that you see here on the sides do have to have the appropriate tension on them, or the shades are either too difficult to pull down or they just fall down. They don't stay in the upright position. So when you are using these, try to pull straight down in the middle. Try not to stretch your strings out by pulling to the left or the right to keep these things operational for you. Now, most of your shades operate this way in this trailer, so they're very easy to use. They are light dimming and privacy, so nobody will be able to see in the trailer at night. Now this window is considered your fire exit window. To get out of it, you're just going to yank this red knob right here, which is going to remove the screen. Now the window, to get it open for fire escape issues, would just be this red lever. We're just going to pull that thing up and out, and then this will actually push all the way out and allow that window to swing all the way open. If you want to prop it there just for ventilation purposes, you can do that as well. The only other blind that's different is going to be the one right here behind the sink, and this is going to operate just like a blinds in your home. Just like that, it's going to be the string style with the wand here to open and close for privacy. Now these do have little latches down here at the bottom, so if you want to travel with that in the down position, make sure you get them clipped in so that blind doesn't bang around and get all bent up. A couple things here on the side of the cabinet. We're going to have another 110 outlet, and we're also going to find our monitor panel and a couple of switches. So the monitor panel operation is very easy. It's just these buttons right here, these 4 buttons, and you can see a corresponding LED light will light up with either tank levels or our battery capacity. The other 2 switches here, one's going to be our water pump, which is going to be for our on-demand water pump if we want to extract water from the freshwater tank. Which is really great while you're traveling if you need to use the restroom or anything, or get water, wash your hands, anything like that. If you've got water in the freshwater tank, turn the water pump switch on. It's going to pressurize your system and allow you to do that. The other switch is going to be our water heater switch, which is going to be for the gas side of the water heater only. So when you flip that on, you'll see that fault light come on. When everything goes into normal operation mode, that fault light's going to turn off. If it comes back on, usually that means that it didn't light. Cycle your switch a few times. If you haven't used it in a while, it could be air in the line that does have to be bled out. If it still doesn't light, could be something else going on. Probably a good time to give your service facility a call and talk with them about it. On the top side of our cabinet over here on this side, we're going to find our Dometic thermostat, which is going to be for our air conditioner overhead. Now they call this a touch capacitive thermostat, which means you don't have to actually push the buttons. You just kind of touch them, and you're going to find in there that there are kind of 3 different modes. You're going to find a fan mode, a cool mode, and a heat mode. Fan mode is just going to be fan operation only. Cool mode will be air conditioning mode, and then heat mode would be your furnace. So let me show you how to operate this. We're just going to touch our mode. You can see it's just going to light up and it says off down there. We're going to touch it again, and you can see it comes on with just fan mode and it says auto. You can use your up and down arrows to cycle through fan speeds. We recommend usually leaving it in auto mode, and then you can touch it again. You'll see the snowflake come on. That means we're in cool mode, and we'll use up and down arrows to set our desired room temperature. If we touch again, you can see the furnace is going to come on down here, and again we will use the up and down arrows to set our desired room temperature. Push it again, we're back to the off position, and that is it. Now it is set in Fahrenheit right now, which is generally where everybody wants it. So if you accidentally switch it to Celsius, it's going to be the up and down arrows at the same time. So as you can see, you can cycle between Celsius and Fahrenheit. So if you accidentally do that, just push the 2 arrows at the same time again, and that will set it back to whichever desired mode that you want it in. All right, kitchen sink. Does have a sink cover here for you. Very easy operation. This thing can swivel left and right. Flow control is going to be the lever either towards the neck of the faucet or out towards you. Temperature control, hot's going to be left, cold's going to be right, and anywhere in between for your liking. 2-burner cooktop with a glass cooktop cover. Just open it up. It just folds back just like that. No issues. This is going to light just like the outside one. You're going to turn the knob to the light position. Using your stick lighter or a match, you will light this and then set your temperature, do your cooking. Now when you are done with this one, allow your burners to cool before you close the glass cover so you don't cause any damage to that. Now just below we will find a convection microwave. So you can do your pizzas and everything like that in there. It also is a regular turntable style as well. Storage underneath our kitchen sink. Overhead, we do have a couple storage compartments. And we've got our vent hood with a light on it and the exhaust fan. Now remember, we talked about the vent on the outside that does have to be open if you want to run the fan. That way it actually does what it's supposed to do and remove all of the smoke and fumes and everything to the exterior of the trailer. Just below your convection microwave, you will find your LP alarm, LPCO alarm. It does have a test button on it. It is recommended to push that and let this thing beep out and kind of run through a test every now and then. It's going to have some warning lights and flashes and make a lot of noise if it does detect any leaks. Let's go ahead and talk about our air conditioner real quick while we are here. This has a few different vent operations. We do have vents that can be opened and closed on the ends. We also have vents on the sides that can be open and closed. And then we have like a mega chill or a direct blow right down here in the middle that blows straight down right here. The only other thing on this that you do have to keep up with is going to be filter maintenance, just like a home air conditioner, which is going to be under this little cover right here. You can pop this out, and right here you will find your cover or filter. This can be removed from the cover and cleaned with warm soapy water. Allow it to completely dry before you put it back in, and then reinstall it for use. All right, let's talk about our Dometic refrigerator. We've got two doors on this thing for operation. Freezer up top, refrigerator down below. These do take 12 to 24 hours to completely cool, so we do recommend prepping them the night before. And when you get ready to stock them up with everything, that you don't overpack them. And if you can have what's going to go in them already cold, you'll get better operation for yourself out of that as well. But let's go over the operation. It's just two buttons, very easy. The first one's going to be on off. If it's in the off mode, everything's going to be off. No lights will be on, any of that, as you can see there. When you turn it on, it's going to make a beep. The refrigerator light's going to come on, and it's going to default to, or it's going to go to the last set mode. So right now you can see we are in auto mode. So that means it's going to select the most reliable source. Now this is a two-way refrigerator, which means it's going to run on 110 electric or LP gas. LP gas requires the LP gas plus 12-volt battery. So if you leave it in auto mode, power goes out at the campground, it's going to automatically switch over to LP gas mode and light up until the power is restored, and then it will automatically switch back to 110. Now if you want to manually force it to LP gas, you're just going to push that button, the auto light's going to go off. Now we're in gas mode, and it's only going to operate on gas. It's going to auto light, does everything on its own. If the check light comes on, that means that something happened. It didn't start up the way it was expected to. You can try cycling the power button a few times. It may just be air in the line, or it could be an issue, but that's why that light is there, to let you know, hey, I'm not working, check me out. All right, below that, we're going to have our road vac. Now this has two different ways to use it as well. It has a floor sweep style deal, so you sweep your pile of dirt over to the floor sweep, and then all you have to do is open up the lid on it, and it's going to suck in all the dirt, which is going to store in the bag that's in the back of here. Now to open this up, you're just going to make sure this covers to the left, put your finger in the little hole right here and pull, and that's going to pop the lid off. And inside we will find a filter, and we will find your bag for all of the collections. So this has to be put on. So you're going to put the inside piece on first. It just pushes on, and then the other piece is actually going to hook up to the door here. So you're going to push that one on there, and then when you put it back on, the left side is going to go on first, and then the right side. So this can also be hooked up to a hose kit if you wanted to get a hose set for it. It does not come with the trailer. It is an accessory that you can get. This little door just slides over. The hose is going to hook in right here, and then you're going to use this on-off switch right here, and then it's going to operate like a vacuum. Other thing we have down here is going to be our WFCO power distribution panel. We're going to find our 110 breakers here on the left, our 12-volt fuses on the right. I do recommend purchasing some fuses to keep with you in case you do blow one. They're just standard blade style automotive fuses that can be picked up just about anywhere. If you're having power problems, this is a good place to start and check things out. Just behind the refrigerator, we're going to have our furnace output. This is where all the heat's going to come from when we are running our furnace. So don't block it. Wardrobe cabinet behind that. So this trailer is equipped with a TV here. It's going to be 12 volt powered, plugged in underneath the cabinet here. All of these cables are going to be run up to your radio for connection there. And then the other thing we'll see here is going to be our booster plate. So that's got that cable jack on the outside of the trailer. If you wanted to hook up to park cable, you're going to want to push that button, make sure that red light goes off. That's going to allow your park cable signal to pass through. Now, if you're going to hook up to satellite, you're actually going to use a coax cable to go from here to your satellite receiver, and then generally it's HDMI from the receiver to the TV or up to your Furrion radio here. Now the radio can be, as it stands, is just a radio. You can Bluetooth music to it to stream it, but you can see there's an HDMI input right there on the front where you can plug in a DVD player and play all your DVDs to your TV that way, or you can plug it in straight this way. If you go through that, you should be able to get it to play out over the speakers in the ceiling. A couple storage cabinets overhead here. Now the windows that open in this trailer are going to be slider style, so you're just going to pull out on the middle of the latch here and then just pull the window open. Again, this one is designed to be a fire exit. That's why it's got the red handle on it. This big screen is going to open up all the way, and this should be big enough to allow somebody to crawl out of it. And when you close them, just slide them all the way. Make sure that that does actually latch, and that's pretty much it. So this is going to be your dinette. Let's talk about how to make this down into an extra sleeping space. First thing you need to do is remove the tabletop from the posts. So a little shake and pull up. Now these posts may stay in the floor. It just depends. Sometimes they stay in the table, sometimes they stay in the floor. But just remove them so we can set our table off to the side for a second. We're going to want to lay the post down. Now these can be stored wherever suits you, whatever works for you. I like to stand my cushions up, get those out of the way for a minute. Then we're going to take our tabletop, and it's going to lay right in between the two benches on those black pucks. It's going to lay down in there just like that. And then we're going to take our cushions and lay them on top. And that's going to make our secondary sleeping space out of our dinette. Now under each bench there is a little bit of storage. These panels just pop out, and inside you will find a little bit of storage space. Just before you get into the bathroom, you are going to find your smoke alarm mounted up here on the ceiling. Test it periodically. If it's not working, get that 9-volt battery replaced. It's for your safety. Just maintain it just like you do the ones in your home. Now coming back to the bathroom, this is going to be separated by a pocket door. It does have a travel strap right here that just snaps onto the wall. We're just going to unsnap that. That's going to allow us to slide this pocket door open, and it's going to be a magnet that helps hold this closed. When you put this back against the wall, strap it back in place. Do not forget to snap it in place, or this will bang around and probably be off the track or broken whenever you get to your next destination. So make sure you do secure that. Now this does come equipped with a max fan, which is going to be 4-speed fan up to 900 cubic feet per minute of airspace. Just a manual crank up and down right here. And then we can choose our fan speeds with the fan on right here. It's going to cycle 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we can just turn the fan off as well. And then the lid just cranks down. When you get it all the way down, the knob is going to push kind of up, which kind of locks it into place for a travel lock type deal. Got some good storage space in here, nice big cabinet space, and that's going to bring us to our Thetford foot flush toilet. Now, when you're going to want to put water in the bowl, which you'll want to do before any time you use it, you're just going to push the pedal about halfway down, which is just going to put water into the bowl. Once you get done doing your business, push the pedal all the way down. That's going to open up the ball valve and allow everything to go down into the black tank. Now, a couple things with the black tank. You want to make sure you are using a black tank treatment to control odors and waste digestion. And you want to make sure you're using RV toilet tissue so you don't end up with any issues in your black tank. Hot cold water here for washing your hands. Underneath we will have some storage. And that's going to bring us to our shower. Again, we're going to have hot and cold mixing on this. And we are going to have flow control button or lever right here on the shower head. So it's either going to be on or it's going to be a dribble. Use your shower curtain whenever you're taking a shower to keep the water in the shower. So thanks for coming with me today as we went through this Forest River RPOD 192. Hopefully I've covered everything, but if I missed something, don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can call us, text us, or email us. And again, I'm Cody with Princess Craft RV.